everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be testing out the TikTok trend of painting on glass. So I'm going to be painting characters from JoJo's Bizzare Adventure and testing this trend out. So let's get straight into it. For this painting you're going to need to have a piece of glass, and I just bought myself a really cheap frame from B&M, and then I place that over the top of a picture that I want to copy, and then I outline every single line that I can see within my picture with a Sharpie pen. So I just follow all of the lines and all of the different shades and outline those with my Sharpie. Once I'm ready, I can then remove my reference image, and then I'm just left with the outline on my piece of glass like you can see here. Once I'm ready to, I can then start mixing up my acrylic paints. And you want to make sure your acrylic paints aren't watered down for this. They need to be quite thick. You don't want really watery paints on top of your glass. And also you need to make sure you're thinking about what you can see on the very first layer of your painting, and you want to get that in first rather than last, because that's going to show first in your reverse glass painting. So for this I make sure that I add any of the lightest skin tones onto my characters first, and also any shadows that I could see, like for example on the top lip of my characters. And I'm just painting in all of the sections that I had prepped out with my Sharpie pen. If you have been watching my videos recently and you've been enjoying them but you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do subscribe, because it honestly helps out so much, and I'm so grateful for everybody that does subscribe to my channel. So my sister actually asked me to paint this one because she's a really big fan of JoJo's Bizzare Adventure, and she asked me to do this because she's been enjoying these paintings over on TikTok. I have painted on perspex before, but it was a very long time ago, and it was a very abstract painting. So it's quite nice to see the difference between an abstract and then a character painting on top of the glass. Let me know in the comments what you plan on painting on glass, what characters or what type of design you're planning on painting on top of glass. There isn't a whole lot of difference in my shades for this painting, so I'm just varying up my greys by adding some slight yellow tones to the t-shirt on this section, just to make sure it breaks up a little and you can see a bit of definition between those cool blue greys and then the warmer tone greys. But I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far, and I'm really anticipating that big reveal, being able to turn the painting over to see how it has actually turned out, because obviously there's going to be details at the moment that I can't quite see, but I'll be able to see them when I reverse my painting. On to the next character now, and this one I have a lot more greens and reds to add in, and I'm going to just vary up my different tones to make sure that I get the different shadows in on the fabrics and along the hair as well. So I'm just using that same process, making sure my paint is nice and thick so that I don't have any watery finishes and my painting's not too transparent, because I want to see a nice thick layer of paint when I finally reverse the glass. I might see a few brush strokes, in which case I will have to go over with a second layer of paint just to make sure I get a nice solid fill of paint on top of my glass. I did make a couple of mistakes and painted over my black Sharpie line. However, it's so easy just to wipe away any paints that you don't want on top of this glass, so it's a real plus for that, rather than a canvas where you might still see some of those paints coming through. So for that, it's a really good way to adjust your painting. You can just wipe it off and not have to worry about it. I did actually end up making such a mess when I was painting in this character, as I kept accidentally setting my hand down into my paint. I don't know why I always insist on working so close to where I've mixed my paints, but it really does end up making such a mess, and I got paint all over my desk, which will come off, but it's not ideal. After adding this first layer of paint on top of my entire painting, I then actually added a second layer over top the entire thing, matching up all of my colours to make sure that there weren't any little gaps or clear areas of my glass, and just to make sure you couldn't see any of those brush strokes. So there you have it. That was my video testing out that TikTok trend of painting on glass, and I really enjoyed doing this. I painted this one for my sister, so hopefully she will really enjoy this video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe so you never miss out on any of my future videos. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.